Hey yo, hey Puertorock, yo, you said yo, I don't know if you has been MIA. Did you see last week motherfucking BGST?
The one with crap.
What Spider Man and that, and then you had
Yeah.
but with me and Cape, not Cape,
Yo,
but
that
with
dude
me
get
and
fed up. He's like, damn, Z, they actually paid to say dumb shit.
yeah,
Yo, I was
yo,
dying, bro.
yo, but nah,
Yo, that dude got fed up.
hey,
He
I
said,
ain't
I
gonna lie.
can't, I can't believe they actually paid to say this.
But
Yo,
nah,
I
what no,
was
what
like,
D though, what D was killing with his line. That's what yeah, I already knew about the DX, bro. Like that,
oh
I couldn't
man,
take it no more.
bro, if I was
Like,
in there, oh man, you lucky. You know, sometimes I'd be like, you know what? Yo, Z, send me the link. I gotta go up in there and kill this motherfucker. Like, one, this is the same dude that was telling people about Ryzen and Vega. Now all of a sudden he had it all figured out. Like, nah, stop it, son.
yeah,
Right?
like
This motherfucker, and you know what's funny? You were trying to tell them, and they couldn't, like, this is when you know motherfuckers don't know shit, right? You were like, who's the head CEO of Sony? And people were like, okay, yeah, Kazurai. He's not the one dictating tech. They don't know. Phil Spencer doesn't know tech. There's no fucking way Phil Spencer's gonna tell people we want 100 CUDA cores. He doesn't know what the fuck a CUDA core is.
That's not his thing.
See, here's the thing. And this is one thing I would have brought up. They trying to make it seem like that fucking, Donnie D, all he did was cut a check, but he doesn't know why he was cutting a check for.
Exactly.
These guys are retarded. Donnie D's not gonna cut a check for $1 billion and not know why he's paying $1 billion for. They already knew that they're gonna have mid-gen refreshes and that these consoles were gonna be 4K. And I would have told the D, I would have been like, D, listen, this whole 4K thing was not a secret. Don't you think it's kind of odd that Sony, whose headquarters in fucking Osaka, Japan, did the same goddamn thing in the same damn generation? This mid-gen refresh going for 4K was no secret. Bro. That's what they both paid $1 billion for. That shit was already planned from the start.
Hey, bro.
Research and design had to spend money.
Hey,
now, granted, Kaz Hirai and Phil Spencer may not know how many CUDA cores, but they don't have to know. They just say one thing. Here's $1 billion check. We're going to push a mid-gen refresh. Look at the best way to get 4K. Bro. So that shit has nothing to do with Phil Spencer. If it was up to Phil Spencer, you wouldn't have an Xbox One X because apparently Terry Myerson wasn't giving away no money.
Hey, bro.
The reason why they had the One X is because, Donnie D already obligated the money. Bro. The money was already paid for. You can't take it back.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you what's
These
crazy.
motherfuckers don't get it. And D's the businessman. He should know this shit.
Bro, you know
the money was obligated.
Hey, bro.
It was come on, bro. Donnie D said, "Here's $1 billion. We're gonna do mid-gen refresh. Focus on 4K. Make it fucking happen, and that's it."
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy?
Goes on and does his thing.
You know what's crazy, bro? My people's right. The person that I talked to on that side of the, he said, "How do you do a show with these guys?" I just left it alone. You know, personally, because being Beast Fight, whatever. I didn't try to save D for so many L's, bro. Like literally. See, the problem with D gets so passionate and going by what they should have not realized. This is a business. Business.
Fucking listen though, man.
I'm like, bro. Like, I will say this for Rock. My opinion is my opinion. Can I be wrong about my opinion? Absolutely, right. But I have no reason to come out there and lie about some things. Told to me, the same person that told me that DirectX 12 would be on the Xbox One and back in fucking 2000. You know what shit I got behind that? That's when I snapped. That's how me and Rich became cool. You know, I was talking about that shit. He was a Misdemeanor exit. We know him. What do you wouldn't even know?
And fucking Showstep was telling them. We know the dude.
Yeah, like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I got his what he was talking about, some double stack GPU. That's what I was like, I was bugging, like, how could they spend fucking all this money? And I couldn't understand it until again what was explained to me. I didn't know what the fucking API was. I mean, SoC was system on chip that covered multiple. I didn't understand that. Then they said, oh no, they looked at it. Both Microsoft, Sony, whatever, looked at it from the cell phone thing, what Apple was doing each year or whatever, a new, slightly better, and motherfuckers go out and buy $1,000 fucking cell phone and not think no more about it. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if when the PlayStation 5 comes out. 2.5 years in, you get a PS5 Pro, whatever the hell they're going to call it. You know what I mean? Because it's just made for those that like the you know, the P's and the Z's or whatever the hell. Don't be surprised. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Well, because again, both the we switch now. The Pro was selling well, been sold out, whatever. The X is, I think they said, was one play was outpacing the S. You know what I mean? So that, you know what I mean? They're both selling them. So you know what I mean? There is a market for it. Don't be surprised. I'm just saying that's not gonna go away. But him, you know, Phil couldn't concentrate on the game. He had to give us the X. I'm like, what?
This guy, bro.
I'm like, yeah, bro.
I was listening to that, and I'm like, man. And then I thought they were gonna get it once you mentioned Sony. Because Kaz Hirai don't go out there and break down tech. He's the head boss. He has engineers to do that. You even told them it was Mark Cerny, and they didn't get it. I'm like, yo, they don't fucking get what he's trying to say. Phil Spencer did not break down how the X is gonna look. He doesn't know what the fuck is in that thing.
You know, even when
he doesn't have a degree in that. He doesn't know tech.
He said that on numerous shows. He's not the tech guy. But even when they try to contribute backwards compatibility to whatever. I said, no. They were talking about that shit in 2011. Xbox One, all their consoles, everything in one goddamn device.
Yeah, the 360 had backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that's not, he didn't.
Like that shit's not a new concept. He just brought back something that was already there.
Yeah, like that they were already talking about doing that. The way they get it up is different codes and, you know, something different.
The thing is, they don't want to admit. I don't know why. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be real. I don't know why they jock riding Phil Spencer. He hasn't done anything.
That's bro.
Yo, I was making fun of, you know, I was me bugging out with Showstopper. Yeah. But in reality, I told them, listen, these dudes are so in love with Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's the only dude, right, that will go up to you, convince you to buy a new $500 console, right? And then 7 months later, at E3 tell you, I'm making a new console and buying new studios to give you games next gen.
Yeah.
And you love him for it. This fuck nigga got your $500 now and told you I'm gonna give you IOUs. What? Yeah. You got balls, bro. Like this motherfucker Phil is Frank Lucas, bro. Like, yo, only he could pull that shit and motherfucker celebrate it.
Hey, bro, he said
he sold you a $500 console now, and to your face said, "I'm gonna give you games later." Nah, son, you giving me games now because I bought your shit now.
You know what I mean. So yeah, but you know what I mean. They just go back well, that's what anybody does.
You're confusing him being a nice guy.
There you go.
You know, because he is a good dude. He'll go to your party chat. If you end up at Xbox Fan Face, he'll have a drink with you.
Yeah, bro.
And that's cool that he's a good person. He talks about this kumbaya philosophy of everybody make love and, you know, fuck my wife.
Hey, Puertorock, but we gotta be real. Like I said, if he was to die today, God forbid.
Yeah.
What can you attribute to him making he turned the Xbox then by doing what? What games?
What are you thinking? Yeah, I don't know what
he took the Kinect out of the box. Okay, all right, fine. I give him that, right?
He canceled Scalebound. And that was good for gamers.
All the things that we have an issue with, whatever has come under his regime. We didn't have these same issues. I mean, did Donnie D make some mistakes? Yes. Fine. We had true Xbox exclusives, great marketing, third-party deals. Yeah. All that shit went away when Donnie D went away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. What Phil had to show that the Xbox was back. Well, come on. This is their third goddamn time to the dance. You know what I mean? If you look at like we had this, like we talking about the video game industry is making more money than the entertainment division, the movie industry, and the music industry. Like, come on. It's a no-brainer. You know? You see what Sony's doing. Right now, all the shit Sony has their hand in, what makes the most money for them is their fucking video fucking game industry for them. You know what I mean? Makes more than their movies, all their music, all that shit, you know? Fucking Nintendo has their little war chest at a failed goddamn console, came out, hit pay dirt with the Switch. You know what I mean? I don't understand, but cool. If you like it, I love it. Fine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But again, just doing a traditional, I don't, like I said, this seems to me like they just want to be the master of everything besides just mastering one. They see this big pot of money over there like Scrooge McDuck. Concentrate what's on. No, you got to first get this in line here, right? First, you know, master this shit right here before you worry about them $2 billion goddamn gamers out there, bro. That's what they look at it. And I know what's been the problem as far as their messaging, as far as exclusive, not exclusive, play anywhere, not anywhere. Like, it's just been, I mean, because, you know, it just, I don't know, man, bro. It's like, their messaging has been all around. You know, the console's going to have exclusives, and the PC is going to have exclusives. Cool. Now, the PC just still got exclusives, but the console ain't got no exclusives. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
that's ballsy. We're paying for live, right? They get exclusive day and date, and they still get exclusive. Like what? At what point when you motherfuckers gonna wake up and say, "Oh," and start to push back and say, "When?" Instead of looking at me, I'm like I'm the pariah, like I'm the problem, and I'm so fucking toxic. I'm just saying what you motherfuckers want to say that you're afraid to say because you don't think Phil's gonna join your party. I don't care about none of that. I've always said that. You know, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't idol worship. Like, I don't, you know, cool. I never cared about who made a game. You know, just being real. Like, at what point are you gonna say enough is enough? Because I guarantee you, if Sony or Nintendo were doing the same shit, you guys would be out here cut the rug. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you gotta be honest. Like, you know, it's like just like I gave Sony shit for having them dog shit games at the beginning. It's the same thing. My message ain't changed. I ain't changed. Oh, you got, you know, the Sony guys. No, my message has always been the same about games. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You know, same with Jabari that was talking about that Tropico 5. Bro, you know I get them niggas hell about that shit. You know, like, come on, bro. Like, it's the same shit with y'all, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they tweaking. Man, shit, man. Who feel, man? Shit, man.
They tweaking.
Yeah, them motherfuckers like they cutting the rug, man.
Man, Phil gonna show y'all, man.
Hope so.
I mean, it's gonna be next gen, hopefully, man. You know, like I said, this is growing pains, bro.
Yeah.
But he really hasn't done nothing.
What?
Yeah,
He hasn't.
what has Phil done? What has Phil done?
Here's the thing. Now, this is I'm gonna be real. And this may sound like counsel.
Donnie D gave you came through Phil.
This is what happened.
All the games Donnie D gave us came through Phil.
All right, let me ask you this.
He was the head of Microsoft Studios.
He was the head of Microsoft Studios. So let me ask you this. So how did we end up with Xbox fucking just flaking with games? Let me ask this. Let me ask you this, right? You have a dedicated console, right? You come in 2014. Shouldn't at least priority number two is to keep the momentum of releasing exclusives, especially if that's really the one main good thing Xbox One doing? Because you got to look at when Xbox One came out, if there was anything positive, it was at least the games. At the very least, it was the games. You know, the camera, the price, 720p. But at the very least, if there was any one good thing Xbox was consistently doing, regardless of how people felt about the quality of the games, was Microsoft's attempting to release exclusives. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time of when you're gonna release that big new exclusive, right?
No,
What did you think?
I do agree. In terms of I never expected us to lose exclusivity to first party titles.
Mm-hmm.
I think them going to PC was a bad move.
And on top of
that's
that,
a bad move.
You know, I can understand if Phil came in and be like, listen, we have to fix the power narrative. Let's say that was his big thing. Fine, cool. I mean, the money's already invested. Donnie D already signed the check. It's already there, so you might as well work with that, right? But while that's in play, especially if you're coming from, if your previous position was first party relations, how could you not go in and be like, all right, we're gonna get the hardware soon, but we have to keep the momentum of pushing out big exclusives because that is the one thing we are doing right. We got to keep doing it. We can't let that go. Yeah. So let's get these games. You know, let me not focus on Phantom does all this bullshit. Let's get these big games. Let's get this cracking. We at no point can go through a year where we end up considered sparse. You understand what I'm saying? We're doing good with the games. Some of them ain't big. Some of them are huge. You know, whatever happened. But you keep doing it. You just keep pushing. So that way, at no point during this gen, you know, you could say Xbox was a lot of things. You could say it was too expensive. You could say it was a 720p box. You could say it was a Connect box. You could say whatever. But at no point this generation will anyone ever associate Xbox with no games. I'm going to make sure that never happens. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and this is to Sony too, Sony should never ever allow a game console, no company, to be considered a platform with no games. Because that's the whole point of that platform. Yeah. If your platform is considered you ain't got no games, you got a fucking problem. Because that's really the main reason to get your shit. What other reason? Like, let's be honest, we really don't need these consoles for like passive media entertainment. We don't need it for Hulu. I mean, it's nice to have it. It's nice to consolidate everything into just one area. That's cool. But if you're doing piss poor, you know, it's kind of like the PS3 the first 3 years. Sure, it was nice to have a Blu-ray player that didn't cost $2,000. But your shit ain't got games, dog. Your shit, you know what I'm saying? MotorStorm ain't it for $600. You know, 360's pushing Gears of War. We got Resistance. This shit ain't it, dog. Like, yo, like, all right, cool, you have Blu-ray, but nah, dog, you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure your console is never known as a console with no games. Because that shit's disastrous. And Phil should have known that, especially coming from first party. He could be like, we could be everything, but we won't be the sports console. That ain't
crazy because even though we're in a gen where Microsoft first party, well, they don't even have first party. I mean, where exclusive titles or that used to be exclusive are not even considered games. Like even the media is using that term that Xbox has no games. That's just crazy.
Here's the thing: we know how the game goes. You know how the game goes. I know how the game goes. Z, we all in this shit, you know. But when you got a normal Joe who doesn't know who Zaire is, who doesn't know Crapgamer, it's just a normal gamer, you know, because there's like hundreds of millions of gamers. We're not fanboys. If the majority of gamers was fanboys, we would know it. This fucking internet would be on fire. There wouldn't be a second that we could go on social media without seeing some shit, right? So majority aren't fanboys. But when they see an article that says Xbox no games, they take that literally. They literally think. You know, there was dudes I talked to that didn't know Destiny was on Xbox because people were saying, "Oh, Xbox got no games," and I'm like, "Nah, Destiny's on this." Like, well, where the fuck you heard that? That Destiny? Oh, you know, because everybody's talking about Destiny on PlayStation and they're saying it's the best, so I didn't know it was on Xbox. I'm like, oh man, there's dudes that don't know. So they see an article that says Xbox no games. Oh fuck it, Xbox literally has no games. So I guess I can't play Call of Duty or 2K or whatever. I'm gonna just get a PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Those little articles are disastrous because some people take it too far. It misrepresents the platform. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, PS4, when they were saying sparse, it wasn't that the fact you couldn't play any game. It's just you didn't have exclusive first-party games that were big guns. You were getting Tropico 5. Sure, you could play your Dragon Age. You know, you could play a Madden. You always get that. But the sparse was what made PlayStation. And that shit was disastrous. Obviously, Sony fixed that shit real quick. You understand what I'm saying? Sony's like, oh shit, our shit is sparse. We need to fix this shit quick before that narrative of you ain't got no game set in.
Crazy. No, it's crazy, but to Sony's credit, but even when it being sparse, what they still had the better third-party deals.
Yeah.
And Microsoft still doesn't have that. It's still not doing that. You know what I mean? You know, it would be wonders for them to have that Red Dead Redemption deal or.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. It may not be their fault for this gen because remember. Part of the third-party deals is the third-party company looking at who they're gonna make that deal with. Are you gonna make the deal with somebody who sold 40 million consoles?
No.
Or are you gonna do it with somebody with 80 million consoles?
No. Listen, now, and I want to allow them, man. Phil said he said it was unhealthy for gaming to keep, you know, stuff from.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree, but you know, but the same thing. Sony said that they didn't want to do crossplay because you know,
they stopped.
Motherfuckers network ain't safe.
No, they looked at it and said, you know, that $40 million. I use it for my argument that we're using the marketing Battlefield or Call of Duty. It's still going to be my platform anyway. So let them do it, and we're going to keep that money, and it is what it is. But they didn't. Again, you're known for Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're known for that. You know what I mean? So they didn't think it would be that big of a deal, and you know, Sony dug in deep with them. They found give here. You know what I mean? Not only that, and they got Destiny. Shit. You know, like whoa, you're known for being the And I'm not a part of the Destiny community, but you know that stuff, that DLC was coming up. The Xbox got to get to a year later, whatever the case may be, and that was big for them. You know, Microsoft didn't do it; they refused to pay for it. That's unhealthy for gaming. You know what I mean? We're not going, like come on, that's what they were saying. It's cool, but they didn't even put that money back into their own first party. And I could say, well, fine, we're not going to do that. We're going to take that money and put it back into giving us game. They didn't even do that. You know, if you're going to have bullshit marketing. You're gonna put it back. They didn't even do that. We didn't. Where? What were the games? You know what I mean? So, like, you know, bro, you know what I mean? I listen. It just came to a point with me as being a fan. I can't go out and defend that shit anymore. Like, bro, wait, all right, fine, fuck it, because it's all about the games. 2.5 years, bro. There's no excuse for that. I don't give a fuck what happened. Like, you gotta have games. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro. You got a brand new $5 console. These motherfuckers had the mitigating to go. They give me Zoo Tycoon, Disney Rush, and shit like, bro, like, come on, man. That's crazy. That's sheer lunacy, bro.
Mhm.
You know, at the end of the day.